Hello, beautifuls. This is Aromie here, and welcome back to Cinderella Phenomenon. My voice is still kind of funky, so I'm quite sorry. But anyway, let's continue on. We're officially on chapter 10, so I feel like Chevalier's route is quite long. I was correct about it being like quick in the introduction, and then we're actually diving into more about him near the ending. So it's quite nice to learn. But I absolutely don't know when this is ending though, because I really thought we were near the ending. But it seems like we're just like the beginning of the ending in a way. I don't know. Just look at all of these men you cannot save. All of these men dying before your eyes. Chevalier, we have to get away from here. How many people have you really saved? In the grand scheme of things, you have no talent. That is why you sought help from a witch. Whoa, dude. Martha's voice is oddly calm, and I can feel some sort of presence in the air that is different from normal. A knight plunges a sword through another's gut, causing him to lose his sword. The sword skitters across the floor, gleaming underneath the moonlight. I look desperately at Chevalier, and I realize that the magic is already working its way into him. He does not see anyone except for Mithras, who is still smiling at him from behind all of the knights. What is going on? I glance at the sword, remembering what Chevalier taught me. Mithras is unguarded right now, but I have better judgment than that, and I told Chevalier that I was going to steer clear of the burden of taking someone's life. I have a promise to keep. I gazed up at Chevalier and realized that this was how he looked every time he regained a memory, like he was stuck in his own mind. There's only one thing I can think of to get him out of this trance. I clenched my hand into a fist, and I punched Chevalier in the face. Holy crap, that did not sound like a punch in the face at all. Ow! Gods, my face! Impossible! Chevalier's eyes clear, and when he looks at me, I can tell he is distraught, but his eyes are seeing the present. Sorry, I thought I lost you. I suppose I needed that, didn't I? Chevalier smiled sheepishly. It is fleeting and gone by the time we both turn to Mithras again. Chevalier looks straight past the still fighting knights. If this bothers Chevalier, which it must, he hides it beneath a neutral expression. How did you break my spell? You cannot even use any magic. She didn't break it with magic. She broke it with the power of love. No matter how cheesy that sounds. I stare at him skeptically. We both know that is not true, and I know Chevalier well enough to know that he does not mean that. But Mithras looks furious. Love. As if some fairy tale love could save you from this predicament. Little do you know. Princess, you're a witch. We feed off negativity, off of chaos and loathing. Love serves us no power. Life is about balance. Michiko taught me that. And though I might not be able to uphold a balance of negatives and positives myself, I'm at least going to try. You could try to do the same. Ooh. Maybe look beyond your depressing life, oh my god, and start reaching for something that gives you happiness. Something that won't plummet you back into the same darkness. Mithras snaps his finger and the knights all freeze, then they turn to us, swords raised. I do not need to be lectured by some lovesick fool. By all means, cling to your love. I will show you how fragile it is. Alright, go ahead, bro. Witches do not need love. Mithras holds out his hand, and the knights begin their steady, deadly march toward us. Chevalier takes my hand and pulls me back, but I see my opening in the narrative. Mithras enjoys inflicting pain with his words, and I can do the same. If you do not need love, if you do not need affection, then why are you doing all of this for Mother? I am not. You are doing it to be recognized. Why? Every student wants to impress their teacher. His words are calm, but there is a desperation in them. Mother was Mithras' teacher. I had thought he was just reviving her as another witch, but... You know, Mithras. It was a long time ago. We both shared the same teacher. Oh! Teacher? Wait. Waltz, are you a witch? Yeah. So he was also my mother's understudy. Waltz was mother's student. No, I cannot think about that now, but I can use this to my advantage. I do not remember mother's students in the least, but one of them turned out right. The other did not, and I can see the bitterness in you. It is the same bitterness I held, only yours goes deeper. You will not sway me with your foolish words. The night begins to rush us. Their run is more of a pathetic shuffle given the harmed state they are in, but this does not slow them down. We're going to run, but trust me, princess, I will protect you no matter what happens. He grabs my hand and we wait. I can see Chevalier's eyes darting around as he searches for an opening. I can feel the pulse of his quickened heartbeat through his hand, and I know he is panicking. What is that? Suddenly, there is a massive luminescent gold wall in front of us. The knights stumble right into it, their swords hitting the bright barrier. Oh, it's Parfait! I figured it was her, but then I didn't want to say it. Are you two okay? Parfait rushes to stand in front of us. Mithras' expression is a cold, angry glare. He measures the situation with critical eyes, and then he turns away and begins to dart down the hall. Ugh! Parfait collapsed to one knee, arms still outstretched to maintain the barrier. Delora appears. She is flustered and bleeding on one arm, but she still stands straight. A lot of magical sounds going on. Delora holds up her hand and summons fire. Put down the shield, Parfait. I have this. Parfait releases the shield. The magic projectiles shoot out at the knights. The two edge of the knights back through the hallway, but I can see Parfait growing weaker and weaker by the moment. Parfait takes a deep, shuddering breath as she tries to stand, when she falls yet again. Chevalier takes a step forward and looks at her urgently. Lady Parfait! I'm fine, don't fuss. Her breathing is labored, but she still manages a smile. I fought in the Great War, this is nothing. She looks at me and Chevalier. You two need to leave. But you're fine. I just need to gather my energy. A spell from Dolores sends the knight sprawling to the ground after she creates a heavy downpour of rain that quickly turns into ice. You two keep going, the entrance is clear. I notice the witches that had been standing behind Mithras approach us now. Dolores stands at the ready. I can tell that she is hiding a great amount of stress behind her smirk. Parfait slowly gets to her feet. We fight together, Delora. There's no one I'd rather have fighting by my side, Fate. Come on, princess, while we still have an opening. We head around the side. Parfait erects a shield to protect us from any magic that comes our way, and Dolores summons a whirlwind as a distraction. Ow! My foot is grazed by fire magic, causing me to stumble, but I force myself into a limping sprint regardless. This is nothing. At the entrance, I pause in the middle of the room. The main entrance hall is eerily silent, and then I see Mithras edging his way into the king's throne room. He's holding tight to Emmy. He notices me watching and smiles. Then he disappears into the throne room. We have to follow him. Princess, he has Emmy! Chevalier's posture and expression are indecisive, mine are not. I know Mithras is baiting me, but I cannot leave her alone. My gaze moves around the hallway as I search for other knights. The place is empty, but it's not long before we hear footsteps. I tense at the sound and Chevalier holds tightly to my hand. Then suddenly as the figures draw near, I recognize him, even if he seems a completely different older person. Oh my god! What? Oh my god! He is beautiful! He is beautiful. Oh my god. My heart! I finally found you. What? You broke your curse. But how? Oh, he's so pretty! Oh my god! He has stolen my heart and we can't play him anytime soon. Chevalier stares at him in awe. I now dub you. What's the big? What's the big? There was never a what's this small. Watts shakes his head. And I broke my curse unexpectedly. I actually found the item I needed while I was searching around. But I can explain more later. For now, we have to go. He looks so weird. We have to go after Mithras. Do you know where he is? He is in the throne room. He looks so weird. I'm so used to him being smaller. Mithras stands in the middle of the empty throne room, holding Emma to him. He has his hand around her neck. Hello? No sudden moves, you three, or this girl dies. And I do know how much death bothers you. Oh, that's great. I am glad you appreciate to know that death is horrible to me. At the start, I realized he's talking to Waltz. All three of us are frozen. Myth. Traitor. Why can't you see that Hildire wasn't trying to teach us? She was trying to corrupt us. Silence, traitor! You betrayed her. During the war, you betrayed our own teacher. Betrayed? Hildire was corrupted. She cannot be saved. How dare you use her name? Mithras' finger tightened to Emmy's throat. I can see the tears running down her face. Her sobbing is quiet, but still it reaches my ears in the silent room. Varg! Hello, Varg. Varg appears from the darkness as he did before. He smiles out at all of us from behind Mithras, eyes glinting mischievously. You didn't finish the job. You were awfully vague when you told me to take care of them. You know, most people would assume that meant entertaining them and offering them refreshments. Obey me! What? Varg turns to us. He draws the sword he used earlier, his smile fading. I think I see something like pain in his eyes, but then I think it might be my imagination. I mean, he doesn't want to help a witch, and yet he's helping a witch right here. He looks stoic as he moves towards us. Is that Fritz? It's Fritz. It has to be Fritz, guys. I honestly feel like it's Fritz. When Watts moves Mithras' hand tighten over Emmy's neck, and she cries out. Chevalier is watching everything quietly. The concern in his eyes is muted by the urgency. I follow his gaze around the room, wondering what he is searching for. Myth, is it? You were injured during the Great War. I tended to you once. Stabbed in the stomach. You needed stitches for it. I feel Mithras' confusion before I see it. For just a few moments, though, his gaze is centered on Chevalier, his eyes probing him for information. No one came for you. Your teacher must have thought you were too weak, that you would die. Ooh. Mithras' hands fly away from Emmy's neck as he lunges towards Chevalier with a snarl, his expression mad. The room breaks out into chaos then. I feel the rise of magic beside me as Watts readies a spell, the tension in Chevalier's body as he prepares to shield me, and lastly I see Varg zip across the room. Everything goes white. Whoa. When I look up, I see Walt standing in front of me with a shield. Mithras' hand lies flat against the shield, and I can feel the heat of his magic. Varg lies on the ground beside his fallen sword, unconscious for the impact of magic. Even Chevalier is on his knees. Where's Emmy? Hello? I rush toward the sword at the same moment. Walt pushes Mithras back onto the ground. Then, sword in hand, I stand above Mithras and aim it at his neck. The blade touches his skin without sinking into it. Emmy is hiding behind the throne, staring out at the scene with shock on her tear-stained face. Will you kill me? No. Not really. Mithras' smile is a mere shadow of itself. You saw the soldiers in the clinic today. You saw how close some of them were to death. Did you see the hollow look in their eyes? I have seen that look many times. It is the look of a man who clings desperately to life. Every life is precious, and a life is still a life, whether it is vile or not. It is still a responsibility you have to bear. I know how valuable lives are because I have helped so many people. That desperation is in Mithras' eyes now, a man that clings to life. It would be so easy to slice his throat. I have seen so much bloodshed on this night, and it was all caused by Mithras. If I kill him, I can stop all of it. But that would make me no better than Mother. I drop the sword. Mithras actually stops to stare at me in shock. I'm not like Mother. I will not kill you for revenge. No sooner have I said the words that I feel a sudden heat in my chest. My hand instinctively reaches up to grab the necklace around my neck. And then there is a bright light. Whee! Our third good deed! Actually not killing someone. When the light clears, a new source of light catches my eyes. Glass slippers! I stop to stare down at my feet, which are in glass slippers that shine so brightly they sparkle even in the dim light. But I have no time to admire the shoes or the weight that has fallen off my shoulders. I barely recognize the fairytale curse has been broken. Emmy rises from behind the throne and screams. Michiko, watch out! Oh, she remembers me now. Thank you. Mithras has grabbed the sword with his hand and turned it around and is aiming it at my chest. It hits a barrier. Parfait stands beside me once more, her face devoid of any color. I do not see her rush in here. She takes a step forward as if to shield me. Out of my way! No, Mithras, what the hell? I just saved your life and you want to kill me still? Mithras draws the sword back and plunges it against at the shield. This time the blade is coated with darkness. It pierces the already flimsy shield, and the blade goes through Parfait's heart. Oh my god, she dying? Parfait! Parfait grabs the blade and narrows her eyes at Mithras. I'm sorry, Hildar, I did not appreciate you. Something swells inside of me as I stare at Parfait. The sword is impaled in her, and I can see her eyes go glassy. I did not want this! Why is everyone dying in every single chapter I'm doing? As I say this, and it's only chapter 2, route 2 of another guy. I cannot speak, cannot breathe. Watts rushes forward with his magic and pins Mithras forcefully to the ground. He raises his hand, but it never comes down in time. The sword strikes past his shoulder right at Mithras' neck. Oh, wait, he dies too? When I turn it is Chevalier that is holding it. His body shakes as tears run down his cheeks. Whoa! Chevalier takes the kill? Mithras holds his neck as Chevalier holds up the blade and throws it behind him. Out of the corner of my eyes, I catch movement that can only be Varg, but I do not care. Lady Parfait, do not move. We can take the sword out when we can. But I see hopelessness in Chevalier's expression, and I know that whatever wound Parfait took was lethal. I can see it in its eyes. I can see it in Parfait's. There is no need to fuss. When Parfait falls, Waltz grabs her and puts his hand to the hilt of the sword. Chevalier crumples beside her. He stares at the blood staining her dress with sorrow. I start to cry. Oh my god, I'm crying! No, I can't. Michiko, do not regret this. I am proud of you. The room is quiet. Even with the newcomers that arrived, the knights and Karma watch the scene from the sidelines, all the grim looks on their faces. Last to arrive is Delora, who sits down beside Parfait with her lips pulled into an uptight frown. Her face is stern, but I can tell it is a mask. Hey, that look doesn't suit you, Delora. I told you to stay back. Had I not been here in time, the princess would have... Her words fall apart as she begins to cough. Delora leans over her and shakes her head. I'm sorry I didn't come sooner. Everything is as it should be, Delora. Parfait cranes her neck to look up at me. Wipe away your tears, Michiko. What you did was a good deed. You spared a man's life. But life is not a fairy tale. Humans are good and bad. No, it isn't. But the fear of death makes a life even more valuable. Do not worry, princess. I chose this. Face smiles. It is mystifying to see her smile when her body is slowly crumbling away in Walt's grasp. Faye's body is what gives out first. Her eyes go next. They remain focused on mine, still smiling. Her body begins to glow as her body slowly fades away. Oh, it fades away? Oh. Parfait. Parfait, please. Please, it was almost her birthday. You would have been a proud... Mom? Godmom? I don't know. Delora turns away. Even if she is not shedding any tears, it is clear that she is heartbroken. She closes her eyes and releases a shaky sigh. Sweet dreams, my friend. Aww! I don't know how long we all stay in that room, mourning the loss of Parfait. Karma, Jiren, and Garland eventually spread out to search for any remaining danger. At some point, they return with the king and the rest of the family. Our reunion with my family is half-hearted. I do not know what to say to people that I hated only months ago. Despite the quiet, they all take me in with open arms. The king stays by my side long after the others have left. Karma and the knights return to the march and tell the others the news. Waltz goes to search the palace for any remaining resistance. Only Delora, Chevalier, and the king and I remain. Chevalier cries. I have never seen him cry before, but his heartbreak is my own. Why does my room look different? Looks different, this lighting. What happened was a nightmare, but eventually ended. Last night, Varg escaped the throne room. No one saw where he disappeared to in all the chaos. I'm beginning to believe that his faint was a trick. Since that night had left everyone so tired, we were offered rooms in the palace. I came to my room with Chevalier, where the two of us attempted to comfort each other with words. Chevalier was especially shaken, being the one to kill Mithras. He was in tears for a long time. I'm pretty sure that I must have fallen asleep sometime when we were talking, but I'm lying in my bed underneath my covers, and though I think for a few moments that it must be a figment of my imagination, it is not. Oh, he's so beautiful. Oh, he's so beautiful sleeping. Chevalier is definitely lying next to me, sleeping beneath those same covers. How did this happen? I put off the recollection of the previous day to stare at Chevalier's face. His glasses are off, and without them his face seems strangely empty. He looks vulnerable, almost like a child, except his features are too handsome for that. What am I thinking? I slowly put my hand to his cheek and flinch when his eyebrows crease. Oh! He's looking at us! Awkward eye contact. Moments later his eyes open. They are foggy this early in the morning. What is this? Have I been woken by my princess? Oh, even in the morning you're like all giddy. Alright, usually it is the princes that wake their princesses. I will always wonder how he manages to keep smiling like this. Even when he is in pain, he forces a smile. Oh, you're such a beauty. But you're no prince, and I am not some damsel princess. Oh, why do we gotta say that? Chevalier closes his eyes again and sighs. There's only one way to break the spell of sleep. Kiss? I flush as his lips curl into a mischievous smile. Still, his eyes do not open. I think about what happened last night, Parfait and Mithra's death, Varg's escape, everyone else's heartbreak. Before I had to relieve the burden, I can afford to lose myself in some happiness. I lean forward to kiss his smile. Awkward. I break away from Chevalier, startled. Princess? Oh, Waltz! How distressing. Waltz the Big ruins everything. I quickly slip out of bed and Chevalier sits up and puts on his glasses with a yawn. Oh, he's so handsome! I'm not used to seeing him, actual him, and not Peter Pan him. Good morning, Princess. And his eyes widen when he sees Chevalier. Are you so tired that words have abandoned you, Waltz? No, I wanted to see if the princess was doing okay. If you were both alright, actually. He pauses to look at his eyebrows furrowed in thought. Though I can't imagine just how tongue-tied he must be. You should speak if you have something to say. Waltz sighs. I didn't want to bring this up so soon, but it's been on my mind the whole night. It's just, you didn't have to kill Myth. That was my job. Oh, I thought he was like, you didn't have to kill him at all. I was gonna be like, that's not very comforting, Waltz. Your job. I doubt that. Besides, I didn't want to kill him. It was a reaction. The room goes silent for a few moments as Chevalier stares down at the floor. He told me before that lives were valuable. I was going to say vulnerable, but they are quite vulnerable too. That is why I try to save Mithras, but in the end my sparing his life forced Chevalier to carry the burden of his death. He has already told me that it's not my fault. Parfait said that what I did was a good deed, but still, killing Mithras saved us more casualties. I hope I can convince Chevalier of that. Most likely he will wrestle with that guilt for a long time. I turn my attention back to Waltz, and with the questions to the back of my mind for the time being. Waltz, there are questions I need to ask you. About how you broke his curse, about Mother being his teacher, about Mithras. There is so much to ask him, I do not even know where to start. We have plenty of time for explanations now, Princess. Oh, you're so beautiful. After your birthday, Delora and I will pick up your magic education, but for now you should rest. I'll give you the full story of my apprenticeship and curse another day. But Princess Chevalier, I just thought I'd let you know that when Parfait came into this battle, she expected to die. She told all of us while we were sitting around trying to plot a rescue plan. I glance at Chevalier, who nods quietly. Was it because of her frailty after the Great War, or did Parfait somehow have a feeling? Oh, also, congratulations on breaking your curse, Princess. Chevalier sits up straight, his eyes narrow behind his glasses. Waltz, I was supposed to congratulate her first. Chevalier stands and kisses me promptly on the cheek. My cheeks flush and even Waltz looks embarrassed. Congratulations, my sweet. It was all very dramatic when your curse broke. There was this bright light and... Wait. Why was there no bright light when when I broke my curse? Both Waltz and I burst into laughter. Chevalier just sighs dramatically. He leans against my shoulder and I do not protest. I have a feeling that getting through the memory of last night might be easier with him here. If anyone could put a smile on my face, it is Chevalier. We hope to see you again at the Marchant soon, Princess. I will be back. After all, I have friends there. Did I speak falsely? No, of course not. It's the truth. Anyway, I need to get going. I've explained what happened to your father, but you should talk with him privately soon. After everything that happened last night, speaking to the king is the last thing on my mind, but I suppose it must be done. Thank you, Waltz. And you, Chevalier, might want to ask for a guest room. But no bed is as comfy as a princess. I nudge him without realizing it, but Chevalier just laughs. We promise Waltz that we will see him and everyone else in the Marchant soon. Afterwards, Waltz hurries out and shuts the door. My eyes go to the edge of my bed, where something shining catches my eyes. The box? Oh no, the shoes. The glass slippers are a reminder of everything that happened yesterday. But the fact that life goes beyond just black and white, good and evil are subjective. At the end, life is gray, Mother. Both good and bad, but even so, even though fairy tale endings cannot exist, I still want to live my life with everyone else. Mithras centered his life around a single person. He was selfish. I would become someone better than him. Thinking about Mithras makes me remember something. Chevalier, Yesterday you said you took care of Mithras during the Great War. That no one came for him. Was that true? I don't know, Michiko. He acted like it was, though, wasn't it? So I never knew Mithras. No, I didn't know him at all. I don't know if I would have been able to strike him down if I did. I don't know what burden he carried, but it seemed heavy. I only guessed at what I could say to distract him. I'd heard rumors of a strong witch that went abandoned for many years. That may have been him. It might not have been. So deception exists in everyone, but it's not entirely what Mother said it was. Oh, wait, this is still going? Holy! My birthday is tomorrow. I sit in the throne room speaking to my father, who has listened to my tale with patience. When it is over, he looks at me sadly. I owe you an apology, Michiko. This whole time you have been on your own, and I could not do a thing for you. You can now, starting first by explaining what happened between you and Mother. You knew she was a witch. I did. You did too, before she forcefully erased your memories. I tried reaching out to you many times when you were a child, but my efforts were met with resistance. Still, can I excuse myself for what I have done? I truly abandoned you, and I am sorry for that, Michiko. I'll explain the story to you if you give me time. For now, I would very much like to mend my bond with you. To be honest, the king still angers me. He only apologizes now. After all of this has come to light. Whether or not I was difficult to speak to, he still had an obligation to seek me out. He is still late to care, but he is still my father, and I can forgive him. I can learn to trust him again. It would take time, but I would like to mend our bond. I would also like to try. Speaking with Emmy, Rod, and Ophelia, but that would take time. The king smiles at me. It is one of the first honest smiles I've seen from him in years. We have time, all the time in the world, and we will mend our family bond, I promise. As I turn to leave the room, the king calls out to me. Michiko, I am proud of you, more proud than any father in the realm could ever be of his child. That's a lot to be proud of, father. Giving me some pressure here. After what happened, we searched for Fritz, but he has vanished. Mithras and Bart has said that they had replaced him, but they never said anything about what happened to him. We searched endlessly, but to no avail. All I can hope is that he is safe, and that I will reunite with him again in the future. Oh, Walt's performance today was amazing. Don't you agree, Mr. Chevalier? I agree. You ladies look especially charming with so many lilies floating around you. Oh my. He always speaks like that. Don't mind him. Yeah, Emmy, don't mind my boo. It has been a whole month since the events at the palace. My birthday has come and gone. Now my life begins. I have been practicing the magic of Walt and Delora, attempting to bond with my family and visiting Marchen when time allows me to. My niece was overjoyed to see me visiting often. Since Chevalier operates from there as a doctor, I visit often. Mostly, though, he clings to me like a leech. Oftentimes I find him in my bed when I could have sworn he was sleeping in another room for the night. Sometimes at night he has nightmares of blood on his hands and of Mithras' death, and at those times I'm glad to be sitting right beside him, so I can promise him that things are all right. As for the fairy tale curse, I have no idea how Michiko puts up with you. Rod's voice comes out from between his lips. Now I can actually speak. Since the fairy tale curse was tied to Mother's still living soul in the crystal, her disappearance and my taking her place immediately caused the root to vanish. I've been working for days to break everyone's fairy tale curses with magic, and when I am done, no one in this kingdom will have to suffer from it ever again. And now the Marchen is not just a place to preserve for the curse, now it is open to the public. Michiko enjoys it though. She finds my poetic weavings to be the best in the kingdom. What I mean to say is I can only put up with them because of our relationship. Loving someone so much you can put up with their nonsensical poetry. I thought you were the nice one, Princess Emmy. No, she has a point. Emmy focuses her attention on musicians standing off in the distance. She points excitedly, then rushes after them. Pulling her brother with her, her guard follows. Ever since the incident at the palace, we have had more security. I do not blame the king, though it can be tiring at times. Luckily, he is more lax with me. When I told him Chevalier was going to be with me, he settled with having Emmy and I share guards. And so I get to be alone with Chevalier often. Father was wary of him at first, until he found out he was a renowned doctor. Now he and Chevalier get on well enough. It's like every father, like, oh, you're dating a doctor? Okay. Thanks, Dad. Chevalier takes a step closer to me and I place my hands around his arm. Oh, they're so pretty together. I am no prince, nor am I a knight in shining armor. I am just a doctor. A doctor who has been blessed with the most beautiful woman in this world. Chevalier begins to lead me through the town again. He is one of the only constants in my ever-changing life. He is the one that will always make me smile, and we share a burden, the burden of a friend's death. He is more burdened with nightmares than I am, and while I wish I could do more to help, I can at least listen to him, just like he listens to me. No matter the burden, it can be overcome. Michiko? Yes? I love you. More than anything in this world. Oh, I love you too! We share one kiss, ignoring the spectators in the town with a shared smile. Then we follow after Emmy. Is that it? That's it. Can I skip this? I don't want copyright. Hello? Skippy? Skippy skip? How you skip? It's midnight. Yo, guys, I don't know how to skip. Hit next. Okay. That does nothing. I don't even know what I did there. Escape. I'm hitting escape and it doesn't work. Enter? I don't. It's not working. It's not working. It's not working. Oh well, you guys get to see beautiful pictures of Chevalier, which I love the font of the credits. Have I already said that before? We're gonna see this multiple times though. But anyway, I adore Chevalier's route. It was really beautiful. I loved it. I felt like it was very long compared to Cloud's route. Ooh, kissy kiss. Cloud's route, I feel like it was longer than Cloud's route. But then again, I may be wrong. But compared to the two, I think I like Cloud's route a little bit better than Chevalier's route. Probably because I had a more of emotional. Oh, he's so cute. He's so stinking cute. But I feel like I had a more closer relationship with Claude than Chevalier. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But we still have 3 other guys to go to. Rod is next. He is definitely next. And then there is Waltz and Fritz. Fritz we don't know much about. I really feel like Varg is Fritz, but I could be wrong. Please don't tell me. No spoilers. No spoilers. Oh, thank you for playing Cinderella Phenomenon. You're very welcome. We have like 3 more guys to go. So we should be able to finish all of the guys this month of September. Maybe. Maybe. I'm not too sure. But I definitely like Claude's route better than Chevalier's. Because at least I could pronounce Claude's name. Chevalier is probably correct or wrong. I don't know. I got an achievement, spool of gold. Oh, there he is. Yep, we got 3 more guys to go. Rod is next. And then we can unlock Waltz and Fritz. And I don't know who goes first. I'm assuming maybe Waltz goes first. And then Fritz. I have no idea. But I'm quite excited. I'm so happy we completed another section of a guy. We completed Claude's and Chevalier's. So far it's still Claude at the top and then Chevalier's second. We're gonna see where Rod flies in. I have a big feeling that Rod might be the very bottom list for me. Because I don't know how it's gonna pan out. Because he's basically my stepbrother. So I don't know if it's like step-sibling love instead of like romantic interest, unless they take it to that level. But again, I don't know how they're gonna play that around. So I feel like Rod might be my very bottom list, but again, who knows, he might top Claude, might be number 1 on my list. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.